Peppa Pig, Strawberries. Grandpa Pig is showing Peppa and George the strawberry he has grown.
"Why is it hiding in a little house, Grandpa?"
asked Peppa.
"Because the cheeky birds have eaten the rest of my strawberries, and I need to protect this last one,"
says Grandpa Pig. Grandpa Pig tells Peppa that they can still eat strawberries. He knows the perfect place to go.
"Everybody in the car,"
he says.
"It's time to visit the strawberry farm." "Have you come to pick strawberries?"
asked Miss Rabbit when they arrive.
"Yes, please, Miss Rabbit,"
says Peppa excitedly.
"Then you've come to the right place. We've got nothing but strawberries,"
says Miss Rabbit.
"Pick as many as you like."
Miss Rabbit takes Peppa, George, Granny Pig and Grandpa Pig out to the strawberry fields and gives them each a basket to put their strawberries in.
"Wow!"
gasped Peppa.
"There are so many strawberries."
Pedro Pony and his family are at the strawberry farm too.
"Hello, Pedro,"
cries Peppa.
"Have you picked a lot of strawberries?" "Yes,"
replies Pedro.
"but my mummy and daddy keep eating them."
Mr. and Mrs. Pony sigh. They have eaten too many strawberries. Peppa and George giggle. They love skipping along, picking strawberries and putting them in their baskets.
"I must say, these strawberries do look lovely,"
says Granny Pig.
"The real test is to see if the strawberries taste any good,"
says Grandpa Pig, picking up a big juicy strawberry and biting into it.
"Actually, that is rather good."
Granny Pig eats a strawberry too.
Scrumptious.
Granny and Grandpa Pig eat lots of strawberries. Peppa and George are very good at picking strawberries and have nearly filled up their baskets. Peppa sings a song as they pick up the strawberries.
"Strawberry, strawberry, juicy, red and sweet. Strawberry, strawberry, they're so nice to eat."
Peppa and George's baskets are full of strawberries, but Granny and Grandpa Pig's baskets are empty.
"Granny, Grandpa, where are your strawberries?"
asked Peppa.
"In our tummies,"
replies Grandpa Pig.
"Maybe it's time to go home,"
says Granny Pig, rubbing her tummy. Danny Dog and his family has just arrived at the farm, ready to pick some strawberries. "Wow, look at all these lovely strawberries," says Captain Dog.
"Don't say that word,"
groans Grandpa Pig, holding his tummy. Granny and Grandpa Pig have eaten too many strawberries.
"Thank you for all the strawberries, Miss Rabbit,"
says Peppa.
"Now we can go home and make strawberry jam for everyone."
Say Granny and Grandpa Pig.
"Maybe we'll do that tomorrow, Peppa."
Peppa and George love strawberries. Everyone loves strawberries. Peppa Pig, Delphine Donkey. This is Peppa's friend, Delphine Donkey.
Hooray!
Delphine lives in France.
Wow!
Peppa speaks English. Delphine speaks French. Hello, says Peppa. Bonjour, says Delphine. Delphine lives in a city called Paris. Peppa and her family like to go and visit. Sometimes we travel on a train, says Peppa. And sometimes we travel on a boat. Peppa and Delphine love exploring Paris together. They go to parks, jump in puddles and visit cafes.
Wow.
Would you like a croissant? Asked Delphine. Says Peppa. Yes, please. In the holidays, Delphine comes to stay at Peppa's house. They sleep at each end of Peppa's bunk bed. I like sharing with you, says Delphine. Peppa has lots of fun with her friend Delphine. They don't see each other very often. But that makes it extra special when they do.
Hooray!
Peppa loves Delphine Donkey. Everyone loves Delphine Donkey. The end. Peppa Pig. Peppa meets the Queen. Peppa and her family are watching television. Suddenly, there is a special announcement from the Queen. The Queen! The Queen! Peppa cheers. Hello to you all, the Queen says. Today I have decided to give an award to the hardest working person in the country.
Wow!
The hardest working person in the country is Miss Rabbit. At the supermarket, Miss Rabbit is closing the shop when Mr. Zebra the postman presents her with a golden letter. Miss Rabbit, please come to my palace to get a medal for all your hard work. Bring friends, all the best, the Queen. I can't visit the Queen, I've got too much work to do, Miss Rabbit panics. Don't worry, Peppa says. The Queen has made it a holiday. It is the day Miss Rabbit visits the Queen. Peppa and her friends are going too. We're off to see the Queen, we're off to see the Queen. E-I-I-D-O, we're off to see the Queen. Here we are, Miss Rabbit squeaks.
Wow!
Look at all the fancy stuff. Woof, Danny Dog says. Don't touch anything, Miss Rabbit warns. Where is the Queen? Emily Elephant asks. Queen! Susie Sheep calls. Where are you? In another fancy room, there is a lady sitting on a throne knitting. Hello, Peppa says. Have you seen the Queen today? I am the Queen, the lady says. The children are very excited to meet you, Your Majesty, says Miss Rabbit. I'm excited to meet all of you, the Queen says, standing up. And now for Miss Rabbit's medal.
Wow!
This is the Queen's award for industry. Keep up the good work. The Queen puts a shiny gold medal over Miss Rabbit's head. Cheers for Miss Rabbit, the Queen says. Hip hip, hooray, shout the children.
Hooray! Hooray!
Miss Rabbit and the children wear their boots to go out into the palace gardens with the Queen.
Do you play in your garden all the time, your majesty? Danny Dog asks. I don't have time for playing, no, answers the Queen. She suddenly stops. Oh dear, a muddy puddle. Never mind, we can walk around it. You can't walk around a muddy puddle, Peppa says. You have to jump in it. Peppa shows the Queen how to jump up and down in a muddy puddle. I say, that does look fun, the Queen says. Here one goes then. Stop! Shouts Peppa. Everyone gasps. If you jump in muddy puddles, Peppa says, you must wear your boots, your majesty. The Queen goes inside and comes back with her boots on. Everyone loves jumping up and down in muddy puddles, including the Queen. The end. Peppa Pig, Pedros Cough. Peppa and her friends are waiting for Madame Gazelle to start their music lesson. Miss Polly Hatty Dolly, sings Madame Gazelle. What is that strange noise? Poor Pedro Pony has a nasty cough. Not to worry, says Madame Gazelle. I'll ring Dr. Brown Bear. Dr. Brown Bear looks after everyone when they are poorly. Dr. Brown Bear picks up his medical kit, jumps in his doctor's car, and drives straight to playgroup. I've got a cough, says Pedro when Dr. Brown Bear arrives. It's nothing serious, says Dr. Brown Bear. But it may be catching, so we'll give you some medicine. Cries Pedro. It tastes like old shoe full of jam. Susie Sheep and Danny Dog start to cough too. As I thought, says Dr. Brown Bear. Pedro's cough is catching. He gives them both some cough medicine. It tastes of carpet-flavoured yogurt, says Susie. Yuck! It tastes of flowers, says Danny. Do you ever get ill, Dr. Brown Bear? Asks Peppa. I'm never ill because I eat an apple a day, says Dr. Brown Bear. Soon it is home time and the parents arrive to pick up the children. Hooray! I've got a cough, says Pedro. Dr. Brown Bear came to look after us, says Danny. All the adults start coughing too. Peppa picks up the phone. Dr. Brown Bear, now all the grown-ups are ill, she says. Now it is the grown-ups' turn to take the cough medicine. It tastes like custard and old socks, cries Madame Gazelle. All the grown-ups must take the medicine to help them feel better. No one likes the medicine. Who looks after you when you're ill? Asks Peppa. No one looks after me, replies Dr. Brown Bear. I'm never... Dr. Brown Bear has caught Pedro's cough too. Oh no! Who will look after Dr. Brown Bear? Gasped Peppa. Poor Dr. Brown Bear is taken to hospital. He has some visitors. Danny has brought some fruit. Susie has brought the medicine. Open wide, says Susie. Ugh, cries Dr. Brownbear. It tastes like jammy yogurt flavoured carpet shoe with floury custard old socks. Soon Dr. Brownbear is feeling better. Everyone loves being looked after, even Dr. Brownbear. The end. Peppa Pig, the train ride. Today, Madame Gazelle, Peppa and her friends are going on a train ride. Can I see your tickets, please? Mr. Rabbit asks them. The children wave their tickets in the air. Oh no, I've lost my ticket, Pedro cries. There's your ticket, Madame Gazelle says, pointing to a ticket on the ground. Try not to lose it again, says Mr. Rabbit, smiling at Pedro. All aboard, calls Miss Rabbit, the train driver, as the train pulls into the station. The children and Madame Gazelle jump onto the train and take their seats. The train pulls out of the station and heads down the hill. Madame Gazelle gives the children an activity sheet.
Wow!
They have to spot a boat, a signal box, and a tunnel. Just then Peppa says, I can see Grandad Dog. Ahoy there! Grandad Dog calls. Hooray! The children cheer. And then they tick their boat on their activity sheets. Pedro doesn't feel very well, so Madame Gazelle lets him go to the front of the train. Miss Rabbit lets him wear her hat and drive the train for a bit, which makes him feel much better. The train puffs slowly uphill. The train puffs quickly downhill. Whee! Cry the children. The train stops at the junction to let Mrs. Duck and her friends safely across. A signal box that's on our list, says Peppa. Hooray! The children cheer, and then they tick signal box on their activity sheets. The train sets off again. Toot toot! Suddenly it all goes dark. Ooh, we're in a tunnel, Peppa says. A tunnel is the last thing on our list. The children tick tunnel on their activity sheets and give a cheer. Hooray! Last stop, Miss Rabbit calls. But Madame Gazelle, how will we get home? Peppa asks. We are home, Peppa, Madame Gazelle replies. The train has gone in a big circle. So they are right back where they started. Tickets, please, Mr. Rabbit says one last time. Pedro, can I have my hat back, please? Miss Rabbit asks. When Pedro lifts up the hat, there is his ticket. Oh, that's where I put it, Pedro says, and everybody giggles. The end. Peppa Pig, the Fancy Dress Party.
Peppa and George are having a fancy dress party. All their friends are invited. Peppa is dressed as a fairy princess and George is a dinosaur. All the guests are arriving. Rebecca Rabbit is dressed as a carrot and Susie Sheep has come as a nurse. "Hello, Susie," says Daddy Pig. "Have you just come from the hospital?" "I'm not a real nurse," says Susie Sheep. "It's just pretend." "Hello, Susie," says Peppa. "I'm Princess Peppa. You must bow when you speak to me." Susie Sheep bows. "Woof, woof. I'm a pirate. Shiver me timbers," says Danny Dog. "I'm a clown," says Pedro, tooting his horn. "Rebecca, why are you dressed as a carrot?" Danny asks. "Because I like carrots," says Rebecca. George does his best dinosaur roar and scares everybody. Peppa is playing by herself. She pretends the mirror is magic. "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" "You are, Peppa," she giggles. It's time to judge the fancy dress competition. "As it's Peppa's party," says Daddy Pig, "she can be the judge and decide who has the best costume." The guests show off their outfits. "I'm a pirate, shiver me timbers," says Danny Dog. "I'm a nurse who makes people better," says Susie Sheep. Candy Cat waves her wand at Peppa. "I'm a witch and I can turn you into a frog," she says.
Meow.
"Well, I'm a fairy princess and I can turn you into a frog," cries Peppa. It is time to announce the winner. "Everyone's costume is very good," says Peppa, "but the winner is me." "Peppa, you can't pick yourself. You're the judge," whispers Mummy Pig. "Oh, can't I?" asks Peppa. "You have to pick another winner," Mummy Pig says quietly. "Okay, the carrot wins," says Peppa. "Hooray! Rebecca Rabbit has won the fancy dress competition." "Thank you," Rebecca says. Peppa loves fancy dress parties. Everyone loves fancy dress parties. The end. Peppa Pig, the official annual 2022. Snowy Mountain.
Wow.
Peppa and her family have come to the mountains to go skiing. The ski lift is there to carry everyone to the top of Snowy Mountain. It looks a bit high," says Daddy Pig nervously. Daddy Pig does not like heights. They get into the ski lift chairs and the safety bars come down. "Whoa!" shouts Daddy Pig as they are lifted up into the air. "This is really fun," cries Peppa. "Oh, yes," says Daddy Pig. "Really fun." "In the air, in a chair," sings Peppa again and again. The ski lift soon reaches the top of Snowy Mountain. Daddy Pig isn't sure how to get out of the chair. "Oh!" he shouts, falling out of the lift and into the snow. When Peppa, George and Mummy Pig reach the top of the mountain, they find Daddy Pig totally covered in snow. "Daddy is a walking, talking snowman," says Peppa, giggling. "Says Daddy Pig, shaking off all the snow.
Skis, skis, get your skis here, calls Miss Rabbit from her ski hut. Hello, says Mummy Pig. Skis for 2 grown-ups and 2 children, please. There you go, says Miss Rabbit, handing over the skis. Yippee, says Peppa. Madame Gazelle is Peppa and George's ski teacher. Will we ski all the way down the mountain? Asked Peppa. Not today, Peppa, says Madame Gazelle. We'll stick to the baby slope. To start, push off slowly with your sticks. To stop, point your skis together. The children copy Madame Gazelle. When they reach the bottom, Madame Gazelle shows the children the gold cup she won for being a world champion at skiing. The children are very impressed.
Wow!
Can we see you do some more skiing? Asked Peppa. Please. Very well, says Madame Gazelle. Madame Gazelle performs a ski routine with twists, turns, and a big jump. Oh, gasp the children. That was amazing, says Daddy Pig. Yes, well, I was the world champion, says Madame Gazelle. Now which Mummy or Daddy would like a go? Why not, says Mummy Pig.
Hooray!
Are you sure, Mummy Pig? Says Daddy Pig. You haven't skied for years. It's like riding a bike, says Mummy Pig. You never forget. Which way does this go? All the way down the mountain, says Madame Gazelle. Mummy Pig sets off. Where are the brakes? She says to herself. Mummy Pig zooms down the mountain very quickly and onto the street below. Whoa, stand back, she shouts. Wow, my mummy is skiing super fast, says Peppa, watching from the top of the mountain. And she did a loop-the-loop.
Wow!
She can't stop, says Madame Gazelle. We have to catch up with her. Mummy Pig isn't sure how she is going to stop, but then she hits a big bank of snow. Everyone skis down to find her at the bottom of the mountain. Says Mummy Pig through the snow. My goodness, a walking, talking snowman, says Madame Gazelle. No, it's just my mummy, says Peppa. Mummy Pig shakes off all the snow. I have never seen such amazing skiing, says Madame Gazelle. This cup belongs to you. Madame Gazelle gives Mummy Pig her world champion skier's cap.
Hooray!
My mummy is the best at skiing down the mountain, says Peppa. Everyone laughs. The Tall Tree. Peppa and her family are visiting Madame Gazelle at her home. Hello, everyone, says Madame Gazelle, opening her creaky door. Come in. Hello, Madame Gazelle, says Peppa. As they step into the house, Peppa and George find themselves sliding down Madame Gazelle's hallway. Whee! Cries Peppa. Your hallway is a big slide. Is it meant to be like that? Asked Daddy Pig. No, says Madame Gazelle. The house is just old. In the living room, lots of things are leaning to one side. Everything here is a little bit wonky, Peppa gasped. Madame Gazelle, I think your house might need fixing, says Daddy Pig. He peers out the window and spots a tree pushing against the wall. Madame Gazelle takes him outside. It's my little Christmas tree from a long time ago, she explains. I didn't want to throw it away, so I planted it in the garden. Your little tree has grown so much it's pushing your house over, says Daddy Pig. I'll call Mr. Bull to see if he can help. That's a mighty fine tree you have there, Madam Gazelle, says Mr. Bull when he arrives. Strong roots. Yes, says Daddy Pig, but it's pushing the house over. Mr. Bull stands back to take a look. Oh yes, he says, let's chop it down. Before Mr. Bull chops the tree down, he must check that no animals are living in it. He gets a rope and a harness and uses them to climb the tree.
Wow!
Look at that, says Mr. Bull. Little birds are nesting in your tree, Madam Gazelle. Peppa George and Madam Gazelle go and see the birds from the window. Mr. Bull climbs higher up the tree. Peppa George and Madam Gazelle climb up higher in the house. Look what's here, says Mr. Bull. Busy bees, cries Peppa. Buzz. Let's see what else there is, says Mr. Bull. Mr. Bull climbs higher up the tree. Peppa George and Madam Gazelle climb the stairs to the 3rd floor window. I say, look at this, whispers Mr. Bull. It's an owl, Peppa gasps. Whoo, says the owl. Onward and upward, says Mr. Bull, continuing to climb. Peppa George and Madam Gazelle reach the highest window in the house. Bats, says Mr. Bull, spotting some hanging upside down and fast asleep.
Wow!
Ah, my friends the bats, says Madam Gazelle. They remind me of the old country. Mr. Bull reaches up. But what's this? He asks, pulling down a piece of tinsel with a bauble on the end. Ah, my Christmas decorations, says Madam Gazelle.
Hooray!
Mr. Bull pulls himself right to the very top of the tall tree and finds a Christmas fairy, he cries. Everyone agrees that, since Madam Gazelle's tree is a wonderful home to so many little animals, it should not be chopped down. Maybe to stop your house falling over, we could put it in the tree, says Daddy Pig. Mr. Bull uses his crane to lift up Madam Gazelle's house and puts it in the middle of the tree.
Wow!
I've always wanted a tree house, says Madam Gazelle. Thank you, everyone. All the animals love living in the tall tree. Madam Gazelle loves living in the tall tree. Wendy Wolf's birthday. Today is Wendy Wolf's birthday, and she has invited all her friends to her party.
Hooray!
Happy birthday, Wendy, her friends cheer. Thank you, everybody, says Wendy. Mr. Wolf is blowing up the balloons for the party. I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow these balloons up. He blows up lots and lots of balloons and bounces them over for the children to play with. I love balloons, cries Peppa, bouncing a red one up into the air. Me too, says Wendy. And me, everyone agrees. Let's try and keep them in the air, says Freddy Fox. When the children have finished with the balloons, Mrs. Wolf asks, Who wants to play with the bubbles? Me, everyone cheers.
Hooray!
Okay, says Mrs. Wolf. I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow some bubbles. Lots of bubbles float around and the children try to pop them. Oh, sighs Peppa. We've popped all the bubbles. We can always make more, says Mrs. Wolf. Who wants a go? Me, cry the children. Mrs. Wolf hands everyone bubble mixture and tells them to huff, puff and blow.
Wow.
The bubbles float all the way up into the sky. "Look at that big bubble," says Pedro Pony, pointing. All the children look up. "That's not a bubble, Pedro, that's the full moon," says Wendy. "When we wolves see one, we howl. Ow! Can you teach us to do that, Wendy?" asks Peppa. "Okay," replies Wendy. "First you look up at the moon, then you ow!" Wendy's friends look at the moon. "Ow!" they howl. When they finish, they hear another howl. "Oh!" "Who was that?" gasps Peppa. The children hear the howl again and huddle together until Wendy's Granny Wolf, pops up from the bushes. "Oh, hello, Granny," says Wendy. "Happy birthday, Wendy," cries Granny Wolf. "And hello, Wendy's friends." "Hello, Granny Wolf," say Wendy's friends quietly. "My, what big ears you've got, Granny Wolf," says Peppa. "Oh, the better to hear you with," replies Granny Wolf. "What big eyes you've got, Granny Wolf," says Zoe Zebra. "Oh, the better to see you with," replies Granny Wolf. "And what big teeth you've got, Granny Wolf," says Pedro. "Oh, the better to eat." "Birthday cake," replies Granny Wolf, laughing. "Hooray!" cheer all the children, looking at the lovely birthday cake Granny Wolf has brought for Wendy. "Wendy," says Peppa, "what's that on the top of your cake?" "It's a little house made of sticks," says Wendy.
Wow.
Mrs. Wolf tells Wendy it's time to blow out the candles. "I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow the candles out." Wendy blows the candles out and blows the stick house down too. "It's my girl," says Mrs. Wolf, and she turns to Daddy Pig. "What's your house made of, Mr. Pig?" "Bricks," replies Daddy Pig. "Oh, of course," she says. "That was my best party ever, thank you," cheers Wendy Wolf. "Ow!
Ow!
Ow!" Everyone howls, "Happy birthday!" The end.
Peppa Pig, Pirate Island. I'm Peppa Pig. This is my little brother George, and this is the story of the day we went to Pirate Island. Grandpa and Granny Pig took Peppa and her friends for a busy day out on Grandpa's boat. "All aboard," said Grandpa Pig. "Is everyone wearing their life jackets? Then off we go." "George, you can have my pirate hat," said Grandpa Pig. "Today we are sailing to Pirate Island, and if we are lucky, we might find buried treasure." Everyone was very excited. The boat landed on a sandy beach. Everyone climbed to the top of the island. Grandpa Pig planted a flag and said, "This is Pirate Island. Now let's look for buried treasure." Grandpa took a strange machine out of his bag. "What's that?" asked Susie Sheep. "It is a metal detector," said Grandpa Pig. "It finds buried treasure." He waved it over the ground and suddenly it started to beep. Buried treasure, cried Grandpa. Let's dig it up. Here's something, said Danny Dog. It's a shiny coin. Maybe it's pirate treasure, said Grandpa. Everyone gathered round to look. Grandpa waved the metal detector over a new patch of sand and it beeped again. This sounds very big, said Grandpa. Everyone dug and Grandpa pulled and pulled at the heavy object until suddenly it came free. That's not buried treasure, said Grandpa Pig. It's a rusty old shopping trolley. Oh dear, laughed Granny Pig. Maybe that's enough treasure hunting. Who wants to go to the rocky beach? Everyone wanted to go to the rocky beach. I'll go and check on the boat, said Grandpa Pig. Granny Pig and the children went off, leaving Grandpa Pig to do important boat things. It was a warm and sunny day on the boat deck. Ah, this is nice, said Grandpa Pig. Maybe I'll just close my eyes for a little bit. Granny Pig showed the children the rocky beach. When the sea goes out, it leaves little pools of water in amongst the rocks, and every rock pool there's something special that the sea has left behind. Peppa looked in a pool. Ooh, I can see something glittering. It's a shiny coin. Maybe it's more pirate treasure, said Granny Pig. And here's a seashell, said Peppa. If you put a seashell to your ear, you can hear the sound of the sea, said Granny Pig. Peppa listened. Wow, I can hear the sea. George had found something hiding at the bottom of the pool. Why, it's a crab, said Granny Pig. Ouch! The crab has pinched Granny Pig's finger, said Peppa. Naughty Mr. Crab. Oh, look, Mr. Crab is walking sideways. George was walking sideways too, pretending to be a naughty pinching crab. Let's all be crabs, said Peppa. Everyone played at being naughty pinching crabs. Time to go home now, said Granny Pig. They all went back to the sandy beach. Where's the boat gone? Said Granny Pig. Look, said Peppa. There was the boat drifting out to sea, with Grandpa Pig fast asleep on the deck. We have to wake Grandpa Pig up, said Granny Pig. Shout as loudly as you can. Everybody shouted, but Grandpa Pig didn't wake up. He's too far away to hear us, said Granny Pig. We're stuck on Pirate Island forever, said Susie Sheep. We're castaways. We'll have to eat insects and slugs, said Danny Dog. The boat floated across the sea, with Grandpa Pig sleeping peacefully. It drifted all the way back to the shore, where the parents were waiting to collect the children. Hello, Grandpa Pig, said the parents. Grandpa Pig woke up with a start. Hello, everyone. I've just left something behind. I'll be back in a tick. And Grandpa Pig turned the boat round and set off for Pirate Island as fast as he could go. There's Grandpa Pig, cried Peppa. He's come to rescue us. Welcome aboard, me hearties, said Grandpa Pig, and everyone got back on the boat. Naughty Grandpa Pig, said Granny Pig. We thought you'd left us behind. Sorry about that, said Grandpa Pig. Next time I promise not to fall asleep. So we can visit Pirate Island again, Grandpa? Asked Peppa. Of course we can, Peppa. I love Pirate Island, said Peppa. What an exciting adventure we have all had today, laughed Granny Pig. Goodbye until next time, me hearties.
Pedro's Pirate Treasure. Peppa and her friends have dressed up as pirates.
Wow.
Danny Dog is on board his pirate ship.
Are you ready to play?
He asks.
Yes, we are.
Everyone cheers in their best pirate voices. Pedro Pony guards the pirate ship, while Danny, Peppa, Susie Sheep and Freddy Fox search for treasure. First, Danny finds a pine cone.
Treasure! Woof!
He barks. Then Peppa finds a shell, Susie finds some rope, and Freddy finds a pebble. Everyone loves playing pirates and searching for treasure. Meanwhile, back at the pirate ship, Pedro starts to feel sleepy. He takes off his glasses and falls asleep against a tree trunk.
Boo!
Cry the pirates, creeping up on Pedro and waking him up.
Oh,
Gasped Pedro, surprised.
sorry, I fell asleep. We've got treasure to put in the treasure chest,
Says Peppa, showing Pedro. Everyone puts their treasure on the ground. Pedro guards the ship again, while the rest of the pirates head off to find a place to bury the treasure. Over a hill and round a little bush they go.
Hurrah! Let's bury it here.
Cheers, Danny. Freddy digs a hole. Danny puts the treasure chest inside and covers it with soil.
How will we know where we've buried it?
Asks Susie.
Let's make a treasure map,
Says Peppa. Peppa draws a treasure map.
Wow.
over the hill, round the little bush, and X marks the spot.
Danny draws an X on the ground to mark where the treasure is buried, and the pirates head back to their ship. When they get back, Mummy Pony arrives to collect Pedro.
Stop!
Shouts Pedro guarding the ship.
Who goes there? I'm your mummy,
Says Mummy Pony.
Where are your glasses, Pedro? Oh no,
Says Pedro.
I think I put them in the buried treasure chest. We can find them with our treasure map.
Cheers, Peppa. Mummy Pony uses Peppa's map to find the buried treasure.
Over the hill, round the little bush, and X marks the spot,
Says Peppa. Peppa's map leads them straight to the treasure. After Freddy digs it up, Pedro looks at it very closely.
My glasses,
He cries.
hooray!
Everyone cheers,
Treasure maps are very useful,
says Peppa.
especially for finding glasses if you accidentally bury them.
Adds Pedro. Everyone laughs. The end. Peppa the Pirate. Peppa and her friends are at Danny Dog's house. They are playing pirates.
Yo ho ho!
Shouts Pirate Peppa.
Hello,
Says Pedro Pony.
yeehaw!
Peppa smiles. Pedro has come dressed as a cowboy. Grandad Dog arrives. He is in charge of the pirates today.
Ahoy there, me hearties!
He shouts.
If you want to play a game, say "Arr!" Arr!
Say the children. Grandad Dog claps his hands. It's time for a pirate treasure hunt. Grandpa Pig has taken my treasure, says Grandad Dog. Will you help me get it back again?
Yes, shout Peppa and her friends.
Hooray!
The pirates are on their way. To win the game, they must go to Grandpa Pig's hideout and get the golden treasure without being caught. The pirates run down to Grandad Dog's boat. They put on their life jackets and climb aboard.
Anchors away,
shouts Grandad Dog. Full sail!
Aye, aye,
reply Peppa and her friends. The pirates sail across the water to Grandpa Pig's orchard.
Wow!
Land ahoy!
Cries Grandad Dog. The mummies are waiting to greet them.
hooray for pirates!
Cheers Mrs. Dog. Shh, Mummy, whispers Danny. Grandpa Pig will hear you. The pirates sneak into the orchard. They stay very, very quiet.
I hope there are no pirates around here,
says Grandpa Pig, trying to take my lovely treasure. Danny tries not to giggle. Peppa and Susie Sheep tiptoe up to some treasure. They get it down without being caught. Susie unwraps the first golden coin.
It's made of chocolate,
she gasps. Yum, says Peppa. Peppa and her friends get all the chocolate coins without being caught.
Hooray!
Well done, shipmates,
says Grandad Dog.
I love playing pirates,
says Peppa.
Arr!
Oh, jolly pirates are we, that sail the deep blue sea, to find the golden treasure, full say ahoy yippee.
The end.
Hi kids, did you have fun watching this video? Then like and subscribe for more.